He was stunned by what he saw. His daughter, who had autism, was whispering to a peacock, wondering if this was some kind of sign. He tested her gently for the first time. She didn't fall into silence. Instead, she lifted her face and smiled. The Sunday. At that moment, a bold idea took root in his mind. He would buy an abandoned zoo. He would give his daughter a childhood filled with love and wonder. But when Benjamin told his brother abroad the plan, his brother thought he was crazy. He knew the zoo had gone bankrupt, covered an area, 18 football fields, with more than 50 species of animals still inside. Even worse, the villa and the zoo were bundled together for sale. To get the house, Benjamin had to take the entire zoo, animals, staff and all. With his limited savings, he could barely cover the first month, creating costs still. Benjamin held on to his idea. He calculated that the zoo's main profits came in the summer tourist season. If he could renovate and reopen within 5 months, he might turn a profit, maybe even bring in good income. But his son Dlink strongly opposed the move. For him, moving to the countryside meant leaving the city, his friends and everything familiar. In contrast, his younger sister couldn't have her excitement. Despite all the objections, Benjamin's determination only grew stronger. He would rather risk everything on an uncertain future than let his family sink further. Integers F. Just 6 months earlier, Benjamin had been the host of a well-known show. He had commonly walked through the eyes of a category for hurricane, traveled the world exploring, but the sudden death of his wife forced him to leave it all behind. He became a full-time father, managing his children's daily lives, while also worrying about their traditional motion states. Since losing their mother, his daughter had fallen almost completely silent. Dylan, on the other hand, was consumed by grief. He hid his pain behind rebellion and had become a notorious troublemaker at school after 3 violations on record. The principal finally accepted him, but also warned Benjamin the Dill's mental was far more serious than the expulsion itself. Benjamin knew that if things didn't change soon, their lives would be swallowed by darkness. So we thought about starting over in a new place, but none of the houses recommended by agents felt right until they drove into the countryside there. A quiet villa appeared for me. It was far from the city, peaceful, with white open rooms filled with some light. It seemed like the perfect place to heal his children's hearts, but the agent hesitated before explaining this villa could only be purchased together with the zoo. At first, Benjamin wanted nothing to do with it. It was too risky, but as he prepared to leave, he suddenly realized his daughter had wandered. He searched anxiously, only to find her happily playing with a peacock. Seeing the joy in her eyes, Benjamin finally understood some things were worth more than money. Dylan still refused to leave the city. Every street corner carried his mother's memory. He couldn't accept abandoning the place where he had once. But Benjamin believed that if Dylan was willing to take just one step forward, he would eventually be moved by their new life. On moving day, Benjamin and his daughter carefully packed their belongings at the back of the closet. He found an old switch his wife used to wear. The fabric was faded and worn. When he touched it, felt as if her warmth still lingered. He placed it gently into the suitcase as though inviting her to join them on this new journey. On the way to the zoo, Dine kept his headphones on, shutting up the world when the car passed the cafe where Benjamin had first met his wife. He felt her presence as if she were still watching over him with the same gentle smile she had given. In every important moment of his life when they arrived at the zoo, a banner read, "Welcome to the brave new owners." Through the window, Dylan noticed a blonde girl smiling at him for the first time. In a long while, something stirred in his heart, but reality quickly struck back as they opened the ville. Smell hit them. The rooms were messy and damp. Dylan model. The next morning, Benjamin entered the zoo with Hole. Kelly, the head zookeeper, welcomed the family warmly and introduced the staff, but Cousin Lily stood out. He was only 13, but already taller than 15. Dylan raised in the countryside. He had a natural, closely with animals. Her presence made Dylan feel a little uneasy. Benjamin then introduced his family and encouraged everyone to stay positive, but the problems were overwhelming and aging. Bengal tiger was in poor health and needed a specialist vet. Fences were leaning, facilities were crumbling, and food supplies for turtle and limits were running low. Most of the staff hadn't been paid in months. Benjamin ate outwardly calm, but Kelly found, did this man really care about third and first berry?